Happy Friday. It's nice to be here with you guys. We've got Pilates, best part of my week, 45 minutes of flow style class. Grab a cushion if you'd like it for when we're on hands and knees. Otherwise, the only thing you need to think about is paying attention and respecting your own bodies and whatever amount that you feel like you want to push through or respect at any particular time is appropriate for you. Let's get ourselves up to our mats. Okay, that cushion goes off to the side. We're going to stand nice and tall at the back of our mats with our feet shoulder width apart. Heels are shoulder width apart, toes are pointing toward the front bottom corners of our room. Spread those toes away from each other, get a stretch across the instep, and we're going to press our big toe, our pinky toe, and our heel, which is probably already pressed firmly into the floor, a little more firmly into the mat. So we have that nice triangular base of support on each side. Soften up your knees. Maybe we shake them out a little bit. And let's settle down a little closer to our feet. Get nice and grounded. We're going to drop those fingertips down the sides of the thighs toward the outside joint portion of our knee joint line. We'll slide our shoulder blades up and down along the back of that rib cage, up to the ears, down to the floor, and repeat. Squeeze them up, press them down, and let's take our head and we'll look up and down toward the ceiling and toward that breastbone. Repeat that one more time. Up and down. Let's look forward, give the chin a little nod, and turn our head. We'll look to one side and then to the other. We'll repeat that one more time. And then we'll face forward. Tip the head side to side, ear to shoulder, lengthening out through the opposite side of the neck. Maybe even feeling a pull into the top of the shoulder on the side we're moving our head away from. Looking straight ahead again, take a big breath in. Exhale, belly to spine. Feel that seatbelt of muscles engaging around the midsection. Let's breathe our arms out to shoulder level. Big breath in, exhale them down. Inhale them up and all the way overhead this time with the palms facing in. We again let our shoulder blades drop away from our ears down the backside of that rib cage. Keep the core active and we're going to sway that upper body side to side. Start to get some activity through that trunk. Push through the foot on the side we bent toward to help propel that body up and over to the other side. We want to picture a bit more space between each segment of the spine. From head to tail, tail to head. A little more space between the rib cage and the pelvis. And we should feel the muscles on both sides of our trunk activating. As we go to the right, as we go to the left, we're going to feel both sides of that waistline working. Bring the body up nice and tall. Open those arms to shoulder level. And with the palms facing our screen, we'll bring our hands slightly forward, far enough that if we wiggle our thumbs, we can see them moving in our peripheral vision. Let's widen up our stance here. Again, the toes are pointed comfortably out to the sides. We bend our knees a touch further and think about sending the crown of the head to the ceiling and that tailbone all the way down toward the floor. Big breath in. Exhaling, we reset belly to spine. And let's move from our upper body. We're going to turn our breastbone from one side wall to the other. Let the head and neck and rib cage go along for the ride. Inhale, face that screen. Exhale, turn. Inhale, face the screen. Exhaling, we turn to face the other wall. Let's breathe in, facing our screen again, and circle those arms. Spin the shoulders in their sockets, reaching those fingertips out to trace circles on our side walls. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch directions. Feel the heat build through those arms, through those shoulders. Circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We stretch those fingertips out wide. Squeeze the blades, sending the hands back in line with the body. And now let's squeeze the blades together, pulsing our hands to the wall behind, allowing us to open up through the chest. Pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we bring our arms down by our sides. Shrug and release those shoulders. Shake out those elbows, maybe bringing them out to the sides. And we'll give our shoulders a circle up, back, and down. Okay, we're going to move our feet in. Heels line up with our sit bone, feet are parallel, and our weight has shifted now to the front of our ankles. Fingertips and thumbs circle that waistline. Press the fingertips and thumbs toward each other. Take a big breath in and exhale, resetting belly and spine toward each other till we feel some activity under those fingertips and under the thumb. Lift your toes, feel the arches lift along for the ride. Spread the toes apart. If you're having trouble getting that movement, look down, watch your toes, see if you can make them spread a little bit farther. And then we'll tap them down to the mat, pinky first, roll through, and then that big toe comes to the mat. Lift, spread, tap those toes down. One more time, lift them up, spread the toes apart, tap them down to the floor, and press the toes firmly into the mat, taking that body weight now forward toward the toes and the balls of the feet, and back to the heels. Let's sway forward and back, Monitor what's going on in that midsection underneath the fingertips, and keep your toes pressed into the floor as we come back and the heels pressed into the floor as we come forward. We'll feel our shins working, we'll feel our calves working, we'll feel our quads, we'll feel our hamstrings, maybe a little glute, maybe a little trunk activity as well as we hit those end ranges of our base. Coming right back to the center over the front of the ankle joints. Now we push our weight from foot to foot. We're going to feel more through those fingertips at this point as those side muscles work to help keep us from tipping over to each side. Again, the whole foot stays on the mat. We press through to the other side. And let's make circles around our base of support. Trace a big circle on the ceiling with the crown of the head and feel those muscles in the midsection turning on a little bit differently depending on where we are in our range of motion over that base. Let's pause with the weight over our toes. We'll take a big breath in. Exhale, and now we take that circle the other direction. There's 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to wind up forward over the balls of our feet with our toes spread away from each other. Shift forward and let those heels come up gently off the floor. We keep those big toes pressed down. We're going to feel our lower legs engaging. We can hold it here, or we can raise those heels up and then lower them down just a bit and repeat up and down, doing our best to keep the weight evenly distributed through those feet, between one foot and the other. Lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels, shift right back over those ankles, give the legs a little shake, maybe even shake out the feet. And widen up that base again. Feet are parallel to each other, but they're now out around shoulder width apart. We're going to take our fingertips right to the fold and where the hips and the thighs meet. And let's take our tailbone back and the crown of the head forward. We're going to shoot for parallel to the floor here. So if you need to bend your knees to take out any effective tight hamstrings, go ahead and bend those knees a bit. Squeeze your glutes, feel the outer hips engage to help stabilize in this position. Reach the fingertips to the floor and we row, tucking those elbows in by the waistline, squeezing those shoulder blades toward each other, opening up the chest. Row for 4, 3, 2, 1. Our elbows are tucked by the sides. We press them straight, reaching the fingertips to the back wall. Press, press, press them straight, and then we sweep everything up and overhead. Big breath in. Exhale the arms out to the sides and down by our thighs. Okay, grab your cushion if you'd like to use it. Place it right in the center of the mat, and we're going to turn and face that cushion so we're standing nice and lengthwise on our mat. Back up a bit more. Take a breath in here. Exhale and soften up those knees. We're going to slide our hands all the way down to our ankles. Again, bending the knees as much as we need to get there. Let's bring our hands to the mat. Walk those hands forward. We're on the balls of the feet, and we're going to lower those knees gently to our mat. Press your big toes into the floor. Let's reset belly to spine. Feel those trunk muscles engaging again. And see if just staying here, if we feel a little stretch through the sole of the foot. If we lean back, we're going to load onto those toes a little bit more. Let's go for a little mobility there. We're going to shift forward toward the hands, backward toward the toes. Keeping that trunk still enough that we could balance something in the small of the back if we had it. One more time, rock back. We're going to hold here, slightly pressing back toward those toes. Let's curl toward cat. Belly lifts up toward the ceiling. We take it to cow with the tailbone coming to the ceiling and that breastbone coming forward. Curl to cat. Take it to cow. Let's bring that body to neutral. Pull the shoulders back up over the wrists. Again, we curl the cat, looking toward our thighs this time. Release to cow with the tailbone up and that breastbone forward. Curl to cat. We get a little more motion through the whole spine versus just that lower back when we're up over the knees and the hands. Coming right back to neutral, our shoulders stay still and we fold ourselves in half, taking the pelvis on one side right to that same side shoulder and reversing. Opposite side of the pelvis goes right to that shoulder. We're lengthening out through the belt line on the side we're moving our hips away from. Come on back to center, turn the tops of the feet to the floor, and let's slide our toes out beyond the outer border of the mat, and then we cross one over the other. Slide out and cross, slide out and cross. Come on back to center and squeeze those blades together, allowing the trunk to draw gently toward the floor. Press your blades forward toward the mat, widening them away across the back and feeling the outer shoulder blades engage to hold the position. Squeeze those blades, Press them forward. We're going to do that one more time. Squeeze them back. Press them forward. Now our toes come together. We bring our knees slightly farther apart. We take our bottom back to our heels. Let's drop to the forearms. Slide the elbows into the inner knee joint lines and shift the weight from side to side. Push toward one side of the mat, push toward the other, and let's come right back to center. Walk or slide the hands toward the head of the mat. Drop the forehead down gently, lining up the elbows and ears as best we can. We are going to feel a nice stretch opening through the outer border of our shoulder blades. If you feel an extreme amount of pulling underneath the arm or down toward the elbow, I do want you to bend your elbows and pull them a little closer to the body. Let's walk our hands toward our screen. Pause with the far hand right over that screen side arm, and then we rest our hands on the mat and our forehead between those arms. Take a big breath into the far side of the body. Feel that ribcage open up, and then exhaling, we walk all the way over to the other side, pausing again, hand over hand, resting the forehead between those arms, and breathing into the screen side of that trunk. Exhale, let's walk our hands forward, drop to the forearms, and we lift our bodies up so our hips are again lined up over those knees. Let's take any extra cushion we have out from under the knees. We'll place it off to the side where we can grab that cushion again later. And we extend our legs back behind the body till we're resting on our upper thighs. Take a breath here, and breathing out, we give the chin a little nod toward the neck. So the crown of the head's pointing up toward the middle of that wall in front of us. Draw the belly to the spine and press through the forearms. That's going to lift us until we're resting just above our kneecaps. So we're going to feel more effort through those shoulder blades here. A little more effort through that midsection, right through the core. Squeeze your blades together. Drop that breastbone down just like we did on all fours. And then press through the breastbone. Take it away from that. Shoulders press down, and we feel our trunk activate a little further. Squeeze, dropping that trunk. Press, lifting the trunk off the mat. One more time. Squeeze together with those blades. Press them toward the floor, and we shift our weight toward our screen. Turn the body and tuck the forearm underneath the body as we come to make our way onto our mat. We draw those fingertips down a little closer to our heels. Our knees are bent and our heels are lined up with the bottom as we start to picture that clock face on our pelvis. We're going to start by widening the collarbones away from the center of the body and nodding the chin gently toward the neck. Those positions are going to stay nice and steady. We're going to hold that here as we take a breath in. As we breathe out, draw belly and spine toward each other. Feel those lower abdominals activate. We're going to curl the pelvis toward a 12 o'clock position. Shorten the pubic bone toward the navel and breastbone, flattening the low back. Here's 12 o'clock. Reverse, taking that tailbone toward the heels, allowing that low back maybe even to lift up off the mat. There's 6 o'clock. Curl to 12. We're driving the movement with the pelvis. Release to 6 o'clock. Upper body stays still. One more time, curl to 12. Release to 6, and then we bring that trunk back to neutral. Take a big breath in, and exhaling, we reset belly to spine. With the hands back down by the side, lift the screen side of the pelvis up off the mat. As we lift, we're rotating our pelvis toward the far wall. 3 o'clock. Release, rock back to neutral, and then lift the far side of the pelvis, pressing that foot through the mat, rotating the pelvis toward the screen for 9 o'clock. Breathe back to neutral. Exhale, turning to 3 o'clock. Breathe that pelvis back to neutral and lift the far side of the pelvis up, rotating toward the screen for 3 o'clock. Come on back to the middle, breathing those arms to the ceiling. We again reset that chin nod and wrap those blades up to the ceiling and down to the mat. Reach them up, lower them down. Breathe in, reach those blades up. Exhale, lower them down. And one at a time, we take an arm overhead as the opposite arm stretches toward the feet in front of us. Breathe back up to the ceiling, and exhaling, we switch arms. Opposite arm overhead. I have my screen side arm reaching toward my feet. Inhale to the ceiling, exhale and reach, switching arms. Inhale to the ceiling, exhale, reach, switching arms. One final time, we reach those arms to the ceiling, and let's bring our knees up to tabletop. Shins are parallel to the ceiling and parallel to each other. If we were going to balance something right in the middle of the shins, it should stay nice and still here. Let's glue our ankles and knees together and rock the lower half of the body gently from side to side, allowing one side of the pelvis to come up as the knees come the other way. And then we switch that up as the knees come to the other wall. Side to side, rock 4, 3, shoulders stay on the mat, 2, and 1. Come on back to center. Get those knees a little bit further apart. We'll press our hands and our thighs toward each other, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. As we continue to build pressure from thighs and hands toward each other, we're going to feel that midsection engaging in front. Let's hold that engagement and we straighten and bend our knees. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull your far knee into the body. Keep that core active as we press our screen side leg down to hover. Hold it there. We nod the chin to look toward that kneecap. Stretch the toes as far away from the bent knee as you can. And we're going to switch legs. Pull and press. Pull and press. Pull and press. Pull and press. If we want to make this harder, those hands come to the mat. Whether we're holding our bent knee or we pressing our hands into the mat, switch those legs for 4. For 3, trunk stays still. Here's 2 and 1. Take both knees into the body. Grab those shins with the hands. And as we pull our knees in toward the chest, we'll feel that low back open up into the floor. Give your shoulders a roll up, back and down, and then rock that body side to side, taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Come on back to center. Okay, take a hold of that far leg again and slide the screen side leg out along the mat until we can press the back of that knee down to the floor. Again, we reset belly and spine toward each other. As we stretch our toes to the wall in front, we make it a little more length through that hip flexor. Hold it there, keep that length, and we're going to pull our bent knee across the body. Wiggle into a little bit of mobility, a little bit of rotation for that lower back, a little bit of stretch through the glute. Coming back to center, hug that knee nice and tight and toward the chest. Inhale the other knee in to meet it, and we switch. Lengthen that far leg down, pressing it into the mat and stretching the toes forward toward the wall. Feel that length through the hip flexor. Once we have that length, we'll take our bent knee and cross it over the body, wiggling up, allowing that hip to come off the mat, getting a little spinal rotation and a little glute stretch. Breathing back to the center, we hang on behind that lifted thigh and kick the thigh into the hands. We're going to try to widen those collarbones away from center so our shoulders stay relaxed. And let's wiggle through our knee. We're going to stretch toward the ceiling and then bend back to tabletop and repeat. Move through a range where the rest of the body stays as still as we can keep it. We're moving just from that knee. And then press those toes up to the first point of resistance. Feel the length from sit bone to knee. Add a little ankle wiggle. Move that stretch a little lower toward the calf, maybe even toward the sole of the foot. Pointing the toes to the ceiling. We're going to reset that belly. We can either hold on behind the thigh as we start lifting and lowering that leg that's been resting on the floor, or we can take our hands by our sides, adding a little core challenge. Lift and lower that hovered leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that lifted stretching side and bring it out toward the screen and over toward the far wall, keeping the pelvis nice and still. Slack through the leg, bend that knee just a bit, or as much as you need to keep it nice and supported, and feel the motion through the hip joint. Breathe that leg up to the ceiling, and let's trace some circles on the ceiling. Again, moving out of the hip joint. So again, adding a little bend at the knee if we need more slack. Inhale at the top, breathing out, we take our circle the other way. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee, give it a hug into the body, and rock it from side to side. The knee goes toward the screen, toward the far wall. We'll do that one more time. Rock it out toward the screen. Take it over to the far wall. Come on back to center for a breath. As we breathe out, we'll switch legs. Lengthen down to the mat. Hang on behind that lifted thigh. And kick the thigh into the hands as we nod our chin toward the neck to look toward that knee. With wide collarbones and those shoulder blades pressing into the floor, stretch those toes up to the ceiling and then bend right back to tabletop. Let's wiggle through that position again. Straighten and bend, and now straighten to the first point of resistance behind the thigh. Find that hamstring length from knee to sit bone. Wiggle your ankle for 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toes. We can kick our thigh into our hands as we reset belly to spine. Then hover the other leg off the mat. To challenge the trunk again a little more, we take our arms to the sides. That hovered leg comes down and up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the foot to the mat and bring that lifted leg side to side. Again, we keep the pelvis still. Monitor the position of those bones in the back of the pelvis. Keep them pressed firmly into the mat as best you can. Out to the side, up and toward the screen, and we sweep through circles again, adding a little knee bend if we need more slack through the hip. One more circle. Breathe in at the top, and then taking that exhale, we bring our circle the other way for 4. For 3. Here's 2. And we inhale at the top. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it into the body, releasing the muscles in the front of the hip, and then we draw the knee out to the far wall and cross it over toward the screen, repeating one more time out to the far wall, over toward the screen, and then come on back to center. Let's hug our second knee into the body. Allow that low back to open up into the mat, and we rock gently side to side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back to center. Grab the kneecaps, guide them up to a perpendicular thigh position, and reset belly to spine. Guide the legs up until we're in tabletop. Hold it here and float the arms to the ceiling. Let's take that screen, set arm back overhead. We take our opposite leg, lengthen it forward to the wall in front, dropping the heel down with control till it's just hovered off the mat. Let's come through center to the other side. Again, lengthening that straight leg out away from the body, drawing it down to that heel is just hovered off the floor. We're going to switch through at a speed that makes sense for you. The gaze is toward our pulled in kneecap. And if we want to make this more challenging, stretch both legs out straight as you can. Switch them up for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Let's sweep both legs to the ceiling. See if you can keep them nice and straight. Hold it here, big breath in. Exhale, lengthen the toes out to the sides for V. Inhale, feet together. Exhale, open to V. Inhale together, exhale, V. Inhale together, exhale, halfway to V. We bend our knees, toes touch. We stretch them out to the side walls. Bend to frog, open to V. Bend to frog, open to V. Bend to frog. Hold, big breath in. Keep those toes together as we reset belly to spine, and then we press the toes to where the wall and ceiling meet in front of us. Inhale to frog. Exhale, press forward. Inhale to frog. Exhale, press forward. One more time. Inhale to frog. Exhale, press forward. We sweep those legs to the ceiling, and we rock the lower half of our body from one side wall to the other, allowing the hip to come up on the side we're moving our legs away from. Let's roll through some circles. Clockwise or counterclockwise, we're going to do them both. Get a corkscrew motion going. Breathe in at the top, and then taking that exhale, we take our circle the other way. 2 more. Last time, sweep those toes to the ceiling. Take 1 foot forward. One leg comes a little closer toward our head, and we sweep through our helicopters, making 2 connecting semicircles with the legs. Again, if we need a little slack, we bend our knees. Continue to connect those semicircles. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw those feet together. Bend the knees, draw them into the body. Inhale the shoulders to the ears. Breathe them back and down, and we rock side to side for a big breath in. And we exhale right back to center. Keeping the knees pulled in, let's circle our ankles in one direction. And we'll circle them the other way. Let's come back to center, flexing the feet, and we're going to drop those heels down, line them up with our sit bones, and we bring our arms again to the ceiling. Big breath in, belly to spine on the exhale, drop your breastbone down as well, and we open our arms out to T, lengthen out through that chest. Feel the collarbones widening away from the breastbone and those fingertips coming to the side walls. Turn and look over one shoulder and then over the other. And repeat that a few times. We're going for a little gliding. Little stretch for our chest, a little glide to all those nerves and all those vessels and everything that moves through those muscles and all that connective tissue in the front of the body. Looking back to the ceiling, we sweep our arms down by our sides and turn the palms to face the floor. We can inch our heels a little closer to the bottom and we get ready to bridge. Take a big breath in. Exhale, belly to spine. Squeeze your glutes. Let's press through our feet and lift those hips up till we find our first point of thigh stretch. Activity through those glutes, maybe a little from the hamstrings, but a little more of the activities coming through those rear end muscles. We're going to hold up at the top and stretch your knees to the wall in front. Keeping that length through the thighs, we lower our tailbone toward the floor, reaching it toward our heels. Tap down, squeeze and lift. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. 2 more. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. We're going to hold those hips in the air as we take it up and down on our toes. Lift the heels for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the screen side heel. Keep the pelvis still and switch feet. Switch feet. Switch, switch, and switch. Take that second heel down. We breathe in. Exhaling, we lengthen our bodies down to the mat, releasing the glutes at the bottom. Let's rock our knees away from and toward the screen, keeping the upper body nice and still. Breathe those knees over to one side. Breathe them over to the other. Come on back to center. Inhale again. Breathe out, belly to spine. Squeeze and lift those hips. We'll hold up at bridge. Press your heels firmly into the floor. Keep your big toe pressed into the floor. And we take one knee at a time out toward each side wall. Our goal here is to keep the pelvis still. And we're moving from our hip joint. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees forward, breathe in. Exhale, lengthen that body down to the mat. Again, releasing those glutes as that tailbone reaches the mat. Rock the knees away from and toward the screen. We'll repeat that one more time. Breathe in, rock away. Breathe out, rock toward that screen. And come on back to center. Inhale one more time. Exhale, belly to spine. Squeeze and lift the hips. We're going to hold them in the air as we move through march. Screen side knee lifts up. We float it down, press into the mat, and switch legs. We're going to keep that going. Maybe we come from a bent knee and stretch our toes to the ceiling before changing our march. Lift. It's okay if those knees are staying bent. Try to keep the pelvis still. Final progression would be to stretch the toes to the wall in front, keeping our thighs level with each other. Last 4. March 3. Here's 2. And here's 1. Press that foot into the floor, squeeze and lift the hips one more time. Big breath in. Exhaling, we lengthen that body down to the mat, tailbone toward the heels. Again, releasing our glutes when that tailbone touches the mat, and we rock our knees side to side. There's 4. Here's 3. And 2. And 1. Come on back to center. Let's cross our screen side ankle over the far knee. Rock gently side to side. If you have a little more slack in the hips and can keep the head and shoulders relaxed into the mat, lift that other foot up off the floor. Again, we rock side to side. Again, it's okay if that heel stays on the mat. Coming back to center, quiet that motion down. Let's switch to the other side, ankle to knee. Give a little rock. Come on back to center again. If there's more slack, we lift up and we rock again. Big breath in. Breathe back to center, unwind and give those knees a hug. Let's take our feet to the floor, turn toward our screen, and grab the cushion as we make our way up to hands and knees. Okay, once we're there, we got wrists and shoulders, knees and hips lined up with each other. We're going to get ourselves settled into this new position through a cat-cow. We curl it up, look toward the thighs, take the tailbone to the ceiling and look forward. Again, curl it up to cat. Take it through the cow and come on back to center, resetting belly to spine as we breathe out. We're going to keep our body nice and still. The only thing that moves is each arm as we extend it away from the body, abducting it toward our side walls. Feel your trunk kick into gear as that arm comes to the side. If you want to take it a little further, that arm comes out to the screen. Turn your head, spin your breastbone gently, just a touch toward the screen. And we bring that hand down with a big breath in. Exhale, switch. Press into the floor with that screen side hand. The opposite arm comes to the side. We turn and look over our shoulder. Spin the breastbone to the far wall, bringing that arm up. Breathe that hand down. We're going to repeat here again for 4. Hand down. Reach 3. Hand down. Here's 2. And last 1. Take that hand down. We curl through cat, reversing through to cow. And come on back to center. Hold it here. Let's keep that core active. Reset that belly to the spine. Slide the screen side leg back and lift it up. Press into the floor with one hand. The opposite arm comes forward. We hold our bird dog. Hold it here. 4, 3, 2 and 1, switch sides. Lengthen, lift, squeezing that glute, and we reach the other arm forward. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch it up. Lengthen and reach. Hold. We're going to bend our elbow and our knee, draw them in toward each other, and lengthen away. Draw them toward each other, lengthen away. 2 more. Bring them together, and lengthen. Elbow and knee together. Lengthen out. Take them back to all fours. Big breath in. Exhaling, we regroup with the belly to spine. We lengthen our leg back, the opposite arm forward. We hold. Elbow and knee come toward each other, and we lengthen them away. Inhale them together. Exhale away. Last 2. Inhale together. Exhale away. And last time. Inhale together. Exhale away. Hand comes down. Knee comes down. Wag that tail from side to side. Let's keep that core active. We're going to walk our hands just a touch forward, maybe 2 inches forward. Let's shift our shoulders over those hands. We have a little, just a touch of opening through the hips. They're a bit shy of that 90-degree position. We're going to move into shoulder taps, taking one hand to the opposite shoulder. Because we're a little in front of our knees with our hips, we're going to feel a little more core activity as we tap. If you need to change that back a little bit, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Or excuse me, bring your hips back over the knees. That's probably going to explain it better. We tap again. Here's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. And here's 1. Hands come down, stretch one foot back behind the body. Bring the other one to meet it. We're going to hold our plank. Tap one foot side to side. And the other. Keep those rear ends level with your shoulders. And tap. Tap 4. 3. Last 2. And 1. Knees come down to the cushion. Walk the hands in again, and we curl through cat, lengthening back to cow before coming right back to center. Slide the screen side leg back, arc the leg to the side. We'll press that foot into the floor, and let's work on our hip mobility here just a bit. We're going to feel that inner thigh lengthening out on the straight leg side. Rock that bottom back toward the heel, and then come right back over those hands. Rock back, hips come over the knee, shoulders over wrists. 2 more, rock back. And up over those hands. Last time, rock it back. Take it up. We stretch our leg back behind the body and breathe it in next to the other leg. Exhale the opposite leg back. Stretch it out to the side toward that far wall. And again, we press our foot into the mat. Our foot is effectively lined up with that bent knee, or as close to it as we can. We press that inner thigh down to the floor, find the length, and then rock back. Come up over those hands. Rock back. And forth. 2 more times. Rock back. Take it up. And last one. Rock back. Take it up over the hands. Slide the leg back behind the body. Draw that knee into center. Curl the cat. And release the cow. As we come back to center, we walk our hands back toward our knees. And let's bring ourselves up to tall kneeling with our hands on our hips. We'll take our fingertips to the front of the waistline. The thumbs to the back. Big breath in. Dropping those shoulders. As we exhale and draw belly and spine toward each other. Let's lean that body back. Find your quads. Feel those muscles in the front of the trunk kick into the hands. Inhale up tall over the knees. Exhale, lean back. Inhale it up. We're going to bring our hands down by our sides. Flip the palms to face forward and lean back again. Exhale, lean it back. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale, lean it back. Inhale, come up tall. Let's stretch our hands back behind us and pulse the pinkies together as we open up our chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms come down, give the shoulders a roll, and we're going to take a seat on our mat. We're resting up on our sit bones, just in the very front of our sit bones. Heels are lined up with them, and we'll take our hands right back behind our thighs. Let's give our shoulders a roll back and down. Flex up your feet and lean that trunk back until we feel a little more work through the front of the body. Let's take our fingertips forward, reach them toward the wall in front. Thumbs are about shoulder level. And we're going to open and close one arm at a time before reaching right back out toward that wall in front of us. Let your head and trunk follow that arm. Breathe back to face the wall in front. Open to the far side. Breathe back to face forward. We'll come up nice and tall. Feet come back all the way to the mat. Push your toes into the floor. And we take our hands right to the outer thighs. Squeezing the elbows in by the thighs, we press our hands and thighs toward each other. And again, straighten those elbows, taking the body back. Again, we open and close one arm at a time, this time pressing firmly through the thigh with our other hand that's not opening. Open and close. Pull that body up nice and tall, give the shoulders a roll back and down. And we're going to straighten our legs out in front of us as best we can. Our goal here is going to be to stay over those sit bones. So if your hamstrings are really tight, the knees stay bent and you're welcome to flex your feet. If you can straighten the legs, go ahead and do so. And we're going to bring our hands back behind the body and rest into the heels of our hands. From here, we reset belly to spine, squeeze the blades. Let your head come back in line with the trunk as best you can. And we send our breastbone up to the top of the wall in front of us. Let's press into the heels of the hands. And we're going to lift and lower one leg at a time. Again, those knees could be bent. We could be lifting flexed feet from the heels, or we take those legs straight up and down. To make it harder, unweight those sit bones from the mat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet come down. Rear end comes down if it's been lifted, and we shake everything out. Roll the shoulders back and down. And let's turn onto our side to face our screen. We're going to rest down on our bottom arm. Knees are forward, heels are lined up with the rear end. Lift that waistline up, and with our top hand on the hip, we press our knee up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the knee down, lift to hydrants for 4. Lift 3. Here's 2. And 1. Back to hip height. Bottom toes come up and down. 3, 2. Lift them up, hold them there. Toes stay together, and the top knee comes up. 3, 2, and 1. Take the knees down, take the feet down. We lift right back up to hydrant position. Take the top hand to the floor in front of us. Keeping that top leg right where it is, stretch the bottom leg out straight and press the side of the ankle into the mat. Lift and lower hydrants again. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch the toes forward, lengthen out that leg. Swing them back, Swing them forward and back. Swing forward and back. One more time. Reach them forward. Stretch back, stretch the top arm overhead. Toes come down, net for 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the top leg forward. 3, 2, and 1. And let's take it the other way for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top hand comes down. We pulse the leg up to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2. Hold it up there. Tighten up that bottom thigh. Bring it up and down. There's 8, 7. Lift from that inner thigh. Pulling those knees toward each other. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. And those feet come down. Bend your knees. Give your hip a little pat. Reach forward. And we bring the arm to the ceiling. Look to the hand. Exhale back for open book. Inhale the arm up and breathe it forward. Let's go ahead and take ourselves up. We'll go over to our other side and repeat. Bend those knees up. We rest on our bottom arm. And we lift up our waistline with the top hand on the hip. Take that top knee up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the knee down. Lift to hydrants. Lift 3. Lift 2. Lift 1, back to hip height, lift the bottom toes. Lift 3. Lift 2. Lift and hold, press the top knee up. Press and lift 3, 2, and 1. Take the knees down and the feet down. We take ourselves back up to hydrants and hold, placing the top hand on the mat. Stretch that bottom leg straight and lift to hydrants again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to hip level. Extend the knees, stretch the toes forward, swing them back. Swing forward and back. If you want to challenge it further, arm comes back as the leg comes forward. Reverse that one more time. Leg forward. Swing back. Top arm comes overhead. Toes come down and up. There's 4, 3, 2. Lift and hold. Circle that leg forward. 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. 4, 3, 2. Hold it up there. Take the top hand down to the mat again. Pulse the leg up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Tighten up the bottom thigh, bring it back in line with the top leg. We lift and lower it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that top leg down, bend up your knees, give the hip a pat, and we reach. Stretch toward the screen with that arm, and we bring it up to the ceiling. Inhaling, we look to our hand, and then breathing out, we reach back toward the far wall. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, forward. Let's go ahead and turn over onto our backs. Let's bring our knees and ankles together, stretch the hands up to the ceiling, and exhale those arms out to T, opening up the chest, lengthening the collarbones away from center. Breathe it in, and breathing out, drop that middle back to the floor and the belly toward the spine. Let's turn, we'll look toward our screen and away. We're right back to the center. Let's sweep the arms down by the sides, turn the palms over to press to the floor. Rock your knees to the far wall and to the screen. Keep those shoulder blades gently resting on the mat. Allow your hip to come up on the side we're rocking our knees away from. Bring those knees back to center. Cross an ankle over the other knee. Again, we give a little side to side rock. Lifting up that other leg if we have a little more slack before we rock again. Come on back to center. Unwind that leg, lengthen it out along the mat. Hang on behind the lifted thigh. Stretch the toes to the ceiling and wiggle through that ankle. A little length through the back of the leg. Bend up the other knee, cross the ankle to it. Hold it there. Hands by the sides, we give a rock. Take it side to side. If you want to lift up, if we have the room, go ahead and do that again before we rock again. Come on back to center, unwind that other leg, lengthen it out along the mat, and hang on behind the lifted thigh. Stretch the toes to the ceiling, give a little wiggle, flex and point through that ankle. Bend up the other knee, hug both legs into the body, and open up that low back as we pull our knees a little closer to the chest. Rock side to side, big breath in. Keep rocking as we exhale. Coming back to center, we take our feet to the floor, turn toward that screen, and make our way to hands and knees, again, grabbing that cushion if you'd like it. Once we're here, we curl up through cat. Take it to cow. Again, curl through cat. To cow. Come on back to center, give your tailbone a little side to side wag. Come on back to center again and turn those toes under. We press the bottom back to the heels. Walk those hands toward the knees. And let's go ahead and bring our weight right back over the front of our ankles. Press up nice and tall through the feet. Come up to standing and make sure you have your bearings before we make our way to the center of our mat. We're going to bring our hands to our waistline. Get those feet hip width apart. Hold nice and still, stacking the body up right over the center of those ankles. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, and let's bring our feet together. Get them as close together as you can. Feel maybe the introduction of a little sway as we change our balance of base of support. Maybe we can take one foot slightly forward, bring it right up to the arch of the other foot. Maybe we can take it all the way in front of the other foot. Find your heel toe standing position. Find something steady to hold on to if this is not working for you without it. If you want to take it further, shift to the back leg. Find a single leg balance. Hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we step down, shifting the weight to the other side. We bring our feet together again. Counter any sway that might have made its way into the system. And then we inch that other foot forward, heel to arch. Challenging it more by standing heel to toe if that feels appropriate. We can take it one more step by shifting back, finding our single leg balance, and holding here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take those feet down, shoulder width apart, shake the wrists up, shake those knees out, and give the shoulders a roll up, back, and down. Inhaling, those arms come up and overhead. We exhale them out to the sides, down by the body, and let's put our feet together. Take one more big breath in, arms come out, we take them up and overhead. Look toward those palms as we press together, and then we breathe out to center. Everybody have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the sunshine while it's here, and I'll see you all again soon.